Bonjour. To celebrate the Bastille Day French Festival 2021 of Melbourne, I have created a delicious apple and yogurt cake using the amazing Barambah natural yogurt. Whenever I make a family cake, the first thing is, of course, to prepare the cake tin. In this case, I've got a springform cake tin, about 25 centimeters. It is a fairly big cake. It's very generous. It's going to serve about 10 people. And then the first thing is that I always put a piece of baking paper at the base of the ring. Like that, you won't have any problems when you unmold it. Then I put the base in the bottom of the cake tin and batter and sugar the cake tin inside, in the bottom, at the base, and on the side. It is important that it is well coated with the sugar because it will give a little crust to the cake, and also it will add some flavor. Of course, the yogurt is a really important ingredient because it's going to keep the cake moist, it's going to keep the cake flavorsome, and it's going to hold it together when I add some eggs and some corn flour. So I'm using the all-natural yogurt, but you could use the Greek yogurt if you want, or you could use the low-fat yogurt. So please yourself, okay? I need 300 grams for that, and I like to open a new pot because on top there is some cream, so it gives a little bit more richness to the cake, although it is pretty low in fat altogether compared to a normal cake. So 300 grams. It's just so delicious. Here we are. It doesn't need to be exact, okay? You have got a little bit of margin in that cake. All right. And then I'm going to use some quark. Now this is really one of the Barambah cheese that I really love using because it reminds me of my youth in France where we use quark, fromage frais, we call it, and it is such a smooth, low-fat cheese. And I'm going to use about 100 grams. It will add some richness, and it's also very delicious. Now, to that, I am adding 100 grams of caster sugar. So I'm going to add all the ingredients like that. It's a very, very easy cake to make. Then 75 grams of corn flour. So because I'm using corn flour, this one is not based on wheat. It becomes a gluten-free cake. So it's really good for those people that cannot have gluten because this cake won't have any gluten at all, and it is also altogether not a rich cake. The next step is to add 4 eggs. So the egg will, when it is cooking, together with the yogurt, it's almost like a custard. You've got to think of it like that. So it will be a very moist cake, and it will hold together. It will cut very nicely. It won't be too dry, so it will be really good. And now the last ingredients, but quite important ingredients in this is a freshly grated lemon zest. This is the seasoning of the cake. It is the magic touch that's really going to give the cake some life. And now using a whisk, combine all the ingredients together until it's very smooth. It's very easy to mix. happens very quickly. That's it. Now for the apples. Now I'm using 6 apples in the apple cake, and what I need to do is to peel them, cut them in half and core them before cutting them into slices. Once all the apples have been peeled, cut them in half. The next step is to remove the core and anything on the apples that you don't like. I am going to keep 5 halves of those apples for the decoration of the top, and the rest I'm going to cut into thin slices and then small sticks and mix with the yogurt. So all the sticks of apple are mixed very well with the yogurt preparation, and then just pour that very carefully into the cake tin. Look at this, it's really lovely. And the lemon and the apple and the yogurt, the smell is really refreshing. Just before putting the cake in the oven, I do a little sprinkle of icing sugar on top. It will give it a shine and, of course, a little bit of sweetness. And voila, now I am going to bake the cake in the oven at 180 degrees for 1 hour. So the cake is well cooked. It has cooled down a bit. Very carefully lift this, and you can see how lovely it is. And then I'm going to lift it onto a cake rack. So again, be very careful when you do something like that, because it's all delicate, of course. I really like to add a little bit more icing sugar over it, like that. And I recommend that you eat it lukewarm, like half an hour or 1 hour after it is cooked, or of course keep it in the refrigerator and enjoy it for a couple of days. The apple and yogurt cake is ready. Come on, everybody. Oh, that's nice sweet.
C'est bon.